In the quiet village of Domremy, France, a young peasant girl lived a simple life. But within her heart, she carried a destiny so grand, so powerful, that it would one day change the course of history. This is the story of Joan of Arc, the Maid of Orleans, a girl who defied kings, led armies, and became a beacon of hope in France's darkest hour. The Maid who defied kings, Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc was born in 1412, in a small village in northeastern France. Like many peasants, her life was hard, but Joan was deeply religious. From a young age, she believed she had been chosen by God to do something extraordinary. Little did she know, her destiny would take her far from her humble roots and onto the battlefield. At the age of 13, Joan began hearing what she believed were voices from saints, Saint Michael, Saint Catherine, and Saint Margaret. They told her she had a divine mission, to save France from its enemies and restore the rightful king to the throne. At this time, France was caught in the middle of the 100 Years' War, a brutal conflict with England that had lasted for decades. The English controlled much of northern France, and the country was on the brink of collapse. The French people were desperate for a hero, someone who could lead them to victory, and Joan believed she was the one. Meanwhile, the French Dauphin, Charles VII, had not yet been crowned king. The French court was divided, and many doubted his ability to lead. But Joan knew that Charles was the rightful ruler, and she was determined to see him crowned in the sacred city of Reims. In 1429, at just 17 years old, Joan left her village and made the long journey to meet Charles VII. Many doubted her, a teenage girl claiming to have been sent by God, but Joan's unwavering faith and conviction won over the Dauphin. He granted her an audience. Joan convinced Charles that she was the one who could turn the tide of the war. Despite the doubts of his advisors, Charles trusted her. He gave her armor, a banner, and command of an army. It was an extraordinary moment. A peasant girl had risen to lead the armies of France. Joan's first major test came at the Siege of Orleans, a key city held by the English. Many believed the city was doomed, but Joan's arrival changed everything. Her presence rallied the French troops, and under her leadership, they launched a daring attack to lift the siege. Against all odds, Joan led the French to victory. Orleans was liberated, and Joan became a hero. The people of France hailed her as the Maid of Orleans. She had shown not just courage, but a remarkable ability to inspire those around her. With the momentum from Orleans, Joan continued to lead the French army to victory after victory. Her ultimate goal was to see Charles crowned king. In July 1429, her dream was realized. Joan led Charles to Reims, where he was crowned King of France. It was a moment of triumph for Joan and a turning point for the war. Joan's visions had come true. The rightful king was crowned, and France was on the road to recovery. But Joan's story was far from over. Joan's success made her a target for the English. In 1430, she was captured by Burgundian forces, allies of the English, and handed over to her enemies. Joan was put on trial for heresy. Her enemies sought to discredit her by claiming she was a witch or a fraud. Despite her capture, Joan refused to deny her visions or her faith. In 1431, at just 19 years old, Joan of Arc was burned at the stake. But her story didn't end there. Joan was later exonerated and declared a martyr by the Catholic Church. Today, she is remembered as a national hero, a saint, and a symbol of courage and faith. Her bravery inspired a nation and continues to inspire the world. Joan of Arc's story is one of the most extraordinary in history. A simple girl, driven by faith, led armies, defied kings, and changed the fate of a nation. Her legacy lives on as a reminder that courage, faith, and determination can change the world. She was the maid who defied kings, a warrior who believed in something greater than herself. And though her life was cut short, Joan of Arc remains one of the most iconic figures in history. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life of Joan of Arc. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more incredible stories from history.